What's up, guys? My name is Zach, and today I am driving a 2006 Chevy Express all-wheel drive. Up front is a turbocharged 5.3-liter V8, and down below is a 4-speed automatic transmission. Now, I am super excited to be driving this here Express van for one main reason. This van is owned by my good friend Tyler, and him and his brother Nash have turbocharged it. That's right, this is a turbocharged van, and we'll get into that a little bit later on. But for now, if you guys would like to help support the channel, you can visit my website down in the description below, zachpradel.com. I have blog posts, I have a shop where you can buy merch, and if you'd like to submit your own vehicle, you can do that there as well, or by emailing me at pradelreviews@gmail.com. Again, all of that stuff will be down in the description. But let's get back to that 5.3-liter V8 that has been turbocharged. Well, these vans come with the 5.3 liter from the factory. That's nothing new. GM has used this engine forever and ever and ever. It's a solid, reliable engine. However, if you're looking at those engine bay shots and trying to figure out where the heck the turbo is, you're not gonna see it. This is actually a rear mount turbo, meaning it's mounted underneath the van towards the back. Now, there's a very practical reason for this. It's for the all-wheel drive system. Because the all-wheel drive system has drive shafts and linkages and everything up front, there wasn't really any room in the engine bay to fit the turbo, so it had to go underneath. Some supporting mods for that turbocharger do include an intercooler, a oil catch can, that's that square thing you're seeing it in the turbo video, of course the turbo itself, and a helper pump and bigger injectors. Now, this is the factory ECU, however, it has been flashed and tuned off of that by a company out in North Carolina, PCM, shout out to them. So while it is the stock ECU, it has been flashed. All right, so the owner said do about a 50 roll if you want to feel it. So here we go. It pulls. This is not a fast vehicle. My face isn't melting off by the blinding speed, but all of the noises, and you get that grunt. It's spooling behind me. It just makes you kind of giddy, and it feels almost wrong. I've never driven a vehicle quite like this with turbo noises. I love it. So one of the really cool things about this particular Express van is that because it is a rear-mounted turbo, it might be kind of hard to get the turbo noise as well. Luckily enough, this van actually has built-in microphone ports for capturing that audio. Really nice feature that Chevy threw in there. But also, there is one small issue with the rear mount turbo, and that is that it requires a little bit of piping. 10 feet of piping, 10 feet of charge pipe to get that sweet turbo air back up into the engine. 10 feet! That's insane. Like I said, paired to it is the 4L60E 4-speed automatic transmission we've come to know and love from GM. However, this has been a built 4L60E to handle this sort of application, so no worries there. Last but not least, something I really wanted to touch on is the fact that it is all-wheel drive. This is a factory all-wheel drive van, meaning when you went to a Chevy dealer in 2006 and bought a work van, you could buy an all-wheel drive work van, which I think is super cool. However, this has been modified slightly. This actually now has a Chevy Tahoe transfer case because the standard Chevy Express transfer case is a race-style setup where this actually has a nice bearing that can handle a lot more power. And so So because of the turbo swap, because of that torque and everything like that, Tyler and Nash actually upgraded to a Tahoe transfer case. But this is all-wheel drive in a factory all-wheel drive vehicle, and honestly, while you're driving it, you don't really feel that all-wheel drive. Going around corners, it's nice and smooth. There's no bogging, there's no jittering like you get with some of these older or heavy-duty all-wheel drive applications. So it's actually a really nice and smooth drive. Now, the all-wheel drive system was actually only originally offered on the 1500 Chevy Expresses, so if you got a 2500 or 3500, there was no all-wheel drive available. With that out of the way, let's talk about the interior real quick, and then we'll get back to driving this turbocharged beast. Well, in front of me, I have a bunch of very typical GM gauges. They look like they're out of every Silverado and Tahoe I've ever driven. On the left, I have oil pressure and coolant temperature. In the center, I have my speedometer, and on the right, I have my fuel and battery voltage. Very plain and easy to see, and from what I've heard, these don't suffer quite as badly as the Tahoe and Silverado gauges do when it comes to reliability, but your gas light might stay on for a while, and that's pretty much par for the course. The steering wheel is plain and simple, no buttons, just horn and airbag, and to the left of me I have my headlights, dome lights, gauge dimmer switch, and on the door I just have my power mirrors and power windows. Moving into the center, I have my very, very basic climate controls, fan speed high and low, my heated mirrors, temperature, and where to send it. And then I do have an aftermarket radio, of course, with a sub in here because Tyler has to have his music, and that's not factory. I do have a little airbag light, a shelf, 12-volt outlet, and a little center console. So we'll do a big friggin' bottle test here in the Chevy Express from 2006, and it gets the first pass of 2022, the first ever pass for 2022. How exciting is that? Not as exciting as this. Oh man, oh boy, oh boy. Then I get another little cubby down below, and the seats are nice and comfortable. They are power, which is very nice for a work van. They look very dated. However, this is 2006, but they even look dated for 06. They look like a 90s style, but that's okay. We don't have back seats. We'll hop around back here for a second and take a look at the cargo space, and then we'll talk about the looks, and then we'll get back to having fun. All right, so the 2006 Chevy Express only has a door on the passenger side. So we'll open it up here. Just a sliding door, and like I said, this is a work truck. Now, Tyler has some shelves back here. That's what you've probably been heard clamoring this whole time, but plenty of space back here. If you want to build a camper van, this would be a great, great car to start off with, and you can turbocharge it as we've just talked about. Really fantastic stuff back here. You can actually step up in here, do this like Casey Neistat vlog style. You have to crouch, but you can actually move around back here. I can get to all my parts and tools and everything like that. So it's actually very, very spacious. And while I do have to duck my head, it's still very usable. Let's go talk about the looks. I love how low-key and stealth this van is. It's not on any crazy wheels. It has knobbier tires, but that's, again, very practical. There's no fin at the back. There's some stickers on the rear window, but that's about it. And so that's actually my driving point for my final thoughts. I love this van wholeheartedly. I really, really do. And the reason why I love it so much is because how blue collar it really is. This is not all-wheel drive to throw down crazy pastimes at Great Lakes Dragway. It's all-wheel drive to be practical and useful. This isn't turbocharged with a rear mount turbo to be a canyon carver. It has that stuff to be practical and useful. That's what I love about this simple build, is that it's not flashy. It's not in your face. If you pulled up next to me in traffic, you'd have no idea. The only cool thing you would see was the all-wheel drive badge, which even at that, most people wouldn't even notice or care for all that matter. But Tyler uses this van to pull trailers. That's why he turbocharged it, because he wanted a little bit more power when pulling a car on a long trailer. He built it to do work, to be his grunt. And I have to say, him and his brother have done a fantastic job on this. I mean, really, truly fantastic. It's one thing to build a turbo car that's fun in a straight line, but hideously unreliable. I love those cars too. They're fun. But I can just really appreciate a vehicle that is built for a purpose and does that purpose exceedingly well. And that's exactly what this van does. Is it going to melt your face at a stoplight? No. Is it going to get you mad street cred at your next car show? No. But it's going to do its job time and time again. And even if that doesn't excite you, you have to respect it. This is very, very cool. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Huge thank you to Tyler and Nash, mostly Tyler, for letting me take out his van. This is his baby, and I appreciate him trusting me with it. It's so, so cool. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and let's end with a little bit of boost noise, just a little bit. Let's roll into it here.
You